Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. The night had always been the single dad's favorite time of day, not because it was peaceful, not because it was quiet, but because it was the only time his mind finally stopped spinning between work, bills, and raising an 8-year-old daughter on his own. Arav Khan, 34, delivery driver by day and part-time mechanic by night, lived his entire life in a small two-room apartment at the corner of a busy Karachi street. He had lived in that building for 12 years, first with his wife Sarah, then with baby Meher, then alone with a grief so heavy that even time struggled to lift it. But in every darkness there is one light, Meher. His sunshine, his laughter, his reason. For her he worked, for her he lived, for her he fought every single day, and tonight he would unknowingly save the life of one of the richest, most powerful CEO in the country. A woman whose world was about to collide with his in a way that neither expected. Arav had just finished his last delivery shift. He parked his bike behind his apartment building, rubbed his sore shoulders, and checked his phone. There were 2 unread messages from Meher. "Baba, when are you coming? I kept chai for you, and I miss you." A tired smile spread across his face. He typed back, "2 minutes, princess, stay inside." As he walked toward the entrance, he noticed something unusual. A black luxury car parked diagonally across the street, one door slightly open. He scanned the area, no one in sight. Strange. He approached the car slowly. The headlights flickered off, as if someone had just turned the engine off moments before. His instincts sharpened. Years of working unpredictable jobs had taught him to trust his gut. "Hello," he called out, but silence answered. Then he heard it, a faint thud, then another. He rushed forward and saw a woman collapsed across the front seat, her face pale, breath weak. "Madame, can you hear me?" he said, tapping her shoulder. Her lips trembled, but no sound came out. He noticed the problem instantly. An allergic reaction. Her throat was swelling, her fingers were shaking, her breathing shallow. He searched her bag for an EpiPen. None. He looked around. No one. He made a decision in 2 seconds. He lifted her into his arms, she was unconscious by then, and carried her toward his building. "Baba," Meher's small voice echoed from the stairs as she watched her father carry a stranger. "It's okay, princess, call Dr. Salmon, tell him emergency." Meher rushed upstairs. Arav placed the woman on their old sofa. Her pulse was fading. "Stay with me," he muttered. When Dr. Salmon arrived, he worked fast. Injection, oxygen support, monitoring pulse. After 30 long minutes, the woman's eyes finally opened. Her voice was hoarse. "Where am I?" "You're safe," Arav said softly. "You had a reaction." She blinked, confused, trying to sit up. Who? "Don't strain yourself," the doctor said, but she pushed through the fog in her mind. "My car. I was driving after a board meeting. I felt dizzy. Everything went dark." Arav nodded calmly, even though he was trembling inside. "You almost didn't make it." She looked around the small apartment. The cracked wall paint, the old fan, the single bookshelf. Her eyes fell on Meher, who was watching her shyly from behind the door. Then her gaze landed back on Arav. "You saved my life." Arav shrugged. "Anyone would have." But Dr. Salman shook his head. "No, most would have called an ambulance. You acted instantly. You kept her breathing until I arrived. That's what saved her." The woman tried to smile. "Thank you, Mr. Arav." She extended a weak hand. "I'm Zara Hayat." His eyes widened. He knew that name. Everyone did. CEO of Hayat Industries, one of the country's most powerful businesswomen. A billionaire, and she was sitting on his old couch. Zara stayed until sunrise. The reaction had drained her strength, and the doctor insisted she rest. Throughout the night, Arav gave her water, adjusted her pillows, and ignored the shock of having a billionaire in his living room. Meher, being Meher, handed her a blanket and whispered, "Don't worry, auntie, my Baba takes care of everyone." Something softened in Zara. No one in her life took care of her, not really. At dawn, she stood slowly and adjusted her formal blazer, the only reminder of her world outside. "I owe you my life," she said firmly, "my company, my staff, everything runs because of me, and you kept all of it alive tonight." Arav simply smiled. I'm glad you're okay. She looked at him for a long moment. Can I drop you somewhere? She asked. He shook his head. I have to take Meher to school and then go to work. Work today? Zara asked, shocked. Arav laughed lightly. Bills don't wait, madam. Something about that line hit her deeply. Back in her penthouse, Zara couldn't stop thinking about the small apartment, the faded curtains, the chipped dining table, the bright smile of a little girl who had nothing, but gave everything, and the man. Calm, steady, strong, not asking her for anything, not looking impressed by her status. He saved her without hesitation. In her world, everything had a price, yet he asked for nothing. That unsettled her. She requested background information about him. Single father, wife passed away 4 years ago, works 2 jobs, income barely enough for survival, daughter top of her class. Zara closed the file slowly. Why do good people suffer the most? She whispered. 2 days later, Arav was at the garage repairing a motorcycle when a black car pulled up. Zara stepped out. Everyone went silent. I need to talk to you, she said. They stepped aside. Arav, your daughter is brilliant. She deserves a future without financial fear. And you deserve more than the life you're struggling through. He stiffened slightly. I'm offering you a position at Hayat Industries, she continued. A stable, well-paid job. Arav looked down. Madame, I don't have corporate experience. You have responsibility, integrity, calmness under pressure. That's more valuable than degrees. He hesitated. Please don't think I'm helping out of pity, she added quietly. I'm helping because you saved me, and because you deserve better. Arav finally nodded. Okay, I'll try. Zara smiled for the first time since they met. Good, you start Monday. Hayat Industries was like another planet. Tall glass buildings, security everywhere, expensive suits, people rushing with purpose. Arav felt underdressed and out of place, until the elevator opened and Zara stepped out. You look good, she said kindly. He tried to smile. I feel like a misplaced screwdriver in a room full of diamonds. She laughed, surprising even herself. She made him team leader of executive logistics. By the end of the month, productivity rose. People admired him. Zara found herself watching him during meetings. How calm he was, how respectful, how responsible. He wasn't trying to impress anyone. He was simply trying to build a life for his daughter. That somehow affected her deeply. One evening, she saw Meher sitting alone in reception. Auntie, Baba told me to wait, she said shyly. Zara frowned and took her upstairs. Arav rushed in, panicked. Princess, I told you to stay inside. I got scared at home. Meher whispered. Zara watched the guilt in Arav's face. Come, she said. Both of you. She took them into her office. Why is she alone every evening? She asked. Arav sighed. I can't afford daycare. Neighbors check on her sometimes. Zara knelt beside Meher. Do you like drawing? Meher nodded. Zara opened a cupboard full of supplies. Then draw here every day. Meher's eyes lit up. Really, really. From then on, Meher spent evenings in Zara's office, drawing, laughing, talking. Zara found herself smiling more, and Arav found himself watching Zara watching his daughter, with a softness he had never seen in her before. One night, a thunderstorm shut down part of the building. Meher ran to Zara, terrified. Zara hugged her immediately. When Arav arrived and saw his daughter safe in Zara's arms, something in him shifted. And when the three stood together under the dim emergency lights, something shifted in Zara too. It felt like a family, but jealousy brews in quiet corners. A senior executive, Jahan, began spreading rumors. The single dad is manipulating the CEO. He wants her money. One day Zara overheard it. She confronted him. He smirked. A man like him doesn't belong at this level. Her voice turned ice cold. If you disrespect him again, you're fired. But Jahan wasn't done. He sent anonymous emails to the board accusing Zara of favoritism. In the board meeting, accusations flew. You're emotionally compromised. He's using you. Zara's face drained. Arav stood and said quietly, if my presence harms her reputation, I will resign. Zara's heart broke. No, you're not going anywhere, she said. That night Zara cried alone in her penthouse. A knock startled her. Arav stood at the door, Meher asleep in his arms. She wanted to say good night. He said softly. Zara wiped her tears. "I didn't know you were still here." He stepped inside and placed Meher on the couch. "Talk to me," he said. Zara whispered, "They think I'm unprofessional, that I'm being emotional." "Are you?" Arav asked. She looked up, eyes full of pain. "Yes, because for the first time, I care." Silence fell between them, heavy, warm, alive. Arav stepped closer. "I never wanted to be a problem," he said. "You're not," she whispered. "You're the only thing that feels right." His heartbeat thundered. Their worlds collided in a single inch of distance, until Meher stirred, breaking the moment. The next morning, Zara walked into the board meeting like a storm. She presented evidence exposing Jahan's lies, screenshots, emails, witness accounts. Jahan panicked. "You can't prove. I already did." She said coldly, "You're done here." The board apologized. Zara reinstated Arav fully. Then she said, "For everyone to hear, he is not just an employee. He is the reason I am alive." Afterwards, she found Arav in the corridor. He said softly, "You didn't have to fight for me." She replied, "I wanted to." He took a deep breath. "My world is small, Zara. I'm just a single dad." She stepped closer, "Then let me be part of it." His chest tightened. "My daughter comes first." "I know," she whispered, "and I'm not trying to replace anyone, but I care for her, and for you." Arav reached for her hand. She looked up, breath catching. "Thank you," he whispered, "for seeing me. You saved my life, Arav. I'm just returning the favor." Time passed. Their bond grew naturally. Shared lunches, walks, school drop-offs. Lessons in chai making, fixing broken lamps, laughing at Meher's drawings. One day Meher whispered, "Auntie, I wish you were part of our family." Zara's eyes filled with tears. Arav heard too, but didn't correct her. In his heart, Zara already was. A year later, Arav had become operations director. Meher got the best education. Zara found joy she had forgotten. One evening, on the rooftop of Hayat Towers, Arav knelt. Zara gasped. Meher squealed and threw flower petals she had saved just in case. Arav took Zara's hand. "You changed our lives, not because you're powerful, but because you cared. I don't have diamonds, but I have honesty, loyalty, and love for you and for Meher." Tears fell down her cheeks. "Yes," she whispered, 100 times yes. The three embraced, a single dad, a billionaire CEO, and a little girl who brought them together. Strangers became saviors, saviors became family, and everything that happened next shocked them, but changed their lives forever.